Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of Susan Lopresti Wellness, Mind, Body, and Soul, the podcast where we explore the highs, the lows, and everything in between when it comes to a woman's life, her health, and all aspects of navigating the midlife landscape. I'm your host, Susan Lopresti, and today I want to talk to you about a very, very important area of our health, and that is bone health. And before we get really into it, I just want to give you some bone facts to get you started. So at birth, we have around 270 soft bones. And as we grow, some of those bones begin to fuse together. And by the time we're adults, we have about 206 bones. 26 of them are in our feet, and 54 are in each of our hands and wrists. So that's pretty interesting. Also, arms are the most commonly broken. And let me knock on wood, because up until today, I have never broken a bone, but arms are the most commonly broken bones, and they account for almost half of all adults' broken bones. The collarbone is the most commonly broken bone among children. I guess they're, jumping and tumbling or whatever else. But for adults, arms are. And bones stop growing in length during puberty. And bone density and strength will change over the course of life. Right. And we all know that as we're aging, and this especially as we're getting into perimenopause and menopause, we start to have osteopenia, which is the beginning of osteoporosis. And bones are made up of calcium, phosphorus, sodium, and other minerals, as well as protein collagen. And bones function as the skeleton of the human body, and they help to protect our organs from impact damage. And they also produce, and this is interesting, they also produce red and white blood cells. And we'll get into more detail as I go on, but I just want you to know this. Bones are living, active tissues that are constantly being remodeled. They support the body structurally. And like I said, they also protect our vital organs, and they allow us to move. Additionally, bones provide an environment for bone marrow where blood cells are created, and they act as a storage area for minerals and particularly calcium. And more than 99% of our body's calcium is actually held in our bones and teeth. However, bones are mostly made up of protein collagen. So it's pretty interesting stuff about bones. And in addition to supporting the frame of the body and protecting the internal organs, bones also provide several metabolic functions. So they store minerals. Bones act as a reserve for minerals, particularly calcium and phosphorus. They also store some growth factors, such as insulin-like growth factor. And bones can raise or reduce calcium in the blood by forming bone or breaking it down in a process that's called resorption. And then there's also fat storage. Fatty acids can also be stored in bone marrow and pH as well. So bones can release or absorb alkaline salts, helping the blood to stay at the right pH level. Bones act as a detoxification. They act as detoxification as well, because bones also absorb heavy metals and other toxic elements from the blood. And then they also have an endocrine function. Bones release hormones that act on the kidneys and also influence blood sugar regulation and fat deposition as well. So let's talk about how we keep our bones healthy. That's really the key here, right? We don't need to get into all the science behind it, but what do we do to maintain good bone health, especially as we're aging? So once you reach the age of 30, you have achieved your peak bone mass. Fortunately, many nutrition and lifestyle habits can help you build strong bones and maintain them as you age. Vegetables, of course, are a great source of vitamin C, which stimulates the production of bone-forming cells. And some studies even suggest that vitamin C's antioxidant effects may protect bones from damage. I'm going to put some links in the show notes with more research that you could go back and get some additional information on that. So bone density describes mineral density, and vegetable intake increases mineral density, leading to stronger bones. Strength training and weight-bearing exercises are really essential for bone health. And I will tell you on a personal note, I have the start of osteopenia, and I have it in my neck, and I have it in my left hip as well. And I see a functional medicine doctor, and every single time I have an appointment with her, she continues to drive it home. You need to do weight-bearing exercises. You need to do strength training. You need to be exercising on a daily basis. She's not a believer in drugs. She believes that we could get to the root cause of a lot of our issues through nutrition and also physical activity, as well as the emotional aspect using meditation and mindfulness and all of that. So strength training and weight-bearing exercises really are critical to maintaining strong bone health. And studies in older men and women who performed weight-bearing exercises showed increase in bone mineral density, bone strength, and also bone size, as well as reduction in the markers of bone turnover and inflammation. And I'm going to put a link to that study in the show notes so you can go back and look at it. Some great weight-bearing exercises include Tai Chi, which I absolutely love, yoga, hiking, and also golf. So if you're a golfer, keep on golfing. Protein is essential to bone health. However, getting too little or too much, either way, can have an adverse effect. So approximately 50% of bone is made up of protein, and research has shown that low protein intake may affect rates of bone formation and also breakdown. I'm putting a link to that in the show notes. High protein diets, they also come with their own risk. There's concerns that have been raised that high protein diets leach calcium from bones in order to counteract the increased acidity in the blood. With adequate calcium intake, this may not be the issue, but you really need to speak to your healthcare provider about that. Calcium is the most important mineral for bone health and should be consumed daily. But like I said, you should have your levels checked and then speak to your healthcare practitioner about what's best to do. But back to food as a supplementation, dark leafy greens such as bok choy, Chinese cabbage is also great, kales, collard greens, turnip greens. These are all excellent sources of calcium. In fact, just 1 cup of cooked turnip greens, which, by the way, I've never had, but they provide 20% of your daily requirement. Other high calcium foods include seeds, cheese if you can eat dairy, yogurt, sardines, canned salmon, beans, and lentils. They are all great sources of calcium foods. So if you are lacking in calcium, Try incorporating some of these foods into your diet as well as exercising and see if you can improve those levels. Vitamin D and vitamin K are essential for building strong bones as well. Vitamin D helps to absorb the calcium, and low vitamin D levels are associated with low bone density. And that's why I take vitamin D3, have your vitamin D level checked, and then take it from there how you should be supplementing if you are low in vitamin D. The sun can activate vitamin D formation. However, if you live far from the equator or you use sunscreen, which I do because I'm very fair and I don't want to burn, you could easily be lacking in vitamin D. And that's why I do supplement with it, because I am lacking myself. Look for foods that are fortified in vitamin D, or try a supplement, like I said, but talk to your healthcare provider. Consuming fatty fish and liver also provide good sources of this vitamin. Vitamin K can help protein and minerals to bind to your bone. Small amounts of vitamin K can be found in liver, eggs, meats, and also fermented foods like cheese and sauerkraut, which I eat fermented sauerkraut all the time. I love it. And soybean product called natto is also very good. Low-calorie diets can be harmful to bone health. Studies have shown that diets providing fewer than 1,000 calories a day, which is definitely no good for your bones or any other aspect of your health, can really lead to lower bone density in normal weight, overweight, or obese individuals. So definitely never go lower than 1,200 calories a day. If weight loss is your goal, do it with a well-balanced diet and physical activity rather than skipping on meals or nutrient intake, right? Please be sure that you are maintaining at least 1,200 calories a day if you're a smaller woman. And there are guidelines. You could go online, you could get the guidelines, you put in your height, you put in your weight, and they'll give you the recommended amounts of calories that you should be ingesting on a daily basis if you're looking to lose weight. MyFitnessPal is a wonderful tool. There's a free version of that app. You could use that one, and it will give you all the information that you need. I highly recommend it. Many people don't realize that weight loss involves bone loss. However, this is less pronounced if you are an obese individual experiencing weight loss than a normal weight individual, right? So if you are overweight by a substantial amount, you don't need to worry about it as much as if you are already on the thin side and you just don't eat a lot of calories. You need to stay within the guidelines. That's for optimal wellness. And that includes bone health and so many other aspects of your life. Being underweight is harmful to bone health. And in fact, research shows that being underweight increases the risk of osteopenia and osteoporosis. So you want to be sure that you're staying at the optimal weight for your height and also your age as well. Low body weight is the main factor contributing to reduced bone density and bone loss, especially among postmenopausal women. And then additionally, yo-yo dieting can be extremely harmful as well, since the repeated loss and regaining of weight is particularly detrimental to bone health and also to overall health as well. While calcium is king when it comes to bone health minerals, a number of other minerals also play a significant role. Magnesium is a crucial role in converting vitamin D into the active form, which promotes calcium absorption. And there are foods that include avocados, nuts, legumes, seeds, tofu, and whole grains. They all help to boost your intake. Potassium neutralizes the acid in your body that can leach the calcium out of your bones. So a great source of potassium are sweet potatoes. They're a great source of both magnesium and potassium. Zinc is a trace mineral that's needed in minimal amounts. It helps make up the mineral portion of your bones. And some good sources of zinc include beef, if you eat animal protein, shrimp, spinach, flax seeds are great, oysters, and also pumpkin seeds. Healthy fats, another vital, such as omega-3 fatty acids, have been shown to help protect against bone loss during the aging process. And let's face it, we're all aging. We're not getting younger, we're all aging. So in a typical diet, the balance of omega-3s to omega-6s isn't correctly balanced. You need to increase your omega-3s with chia seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts. I always have a big thing of walnuts on my kitchen counter, and I take a couple. I don't eat the whole thing, but I do eat several every single day, and I just love walnuts. They're great for your brain as well. I want to talk about the use of tobacco products and also alcohol consumption. They both contribute to weak bones. And that's just one area of many areas, especially tobacco products. There is no need to be smoking cigarettes in this day and age. I think everyone knows that. And you don't see too many people actually smoking cigarettes. A lot of times you'll notice that the older generations are smoking because when they were younger, it was very cool to smoke cigarettes. Actually, for women, it was very sexy. If you remember the movies from the 30s and the 40s and the 50s even, smoking, they made it look like it was a very sexy thing for women to smoke. Well, fast forward a number of years, we now know that not only isn't it sexy, but it's detrimental to your health. So research suggests that women who have more than one alcoholic drink a day and men who have 2 or more drinks daily may have an increased risk of osteoporosis. In women, bone density decreases dramatically at menopause due to the dropping of estrogen levels. The prolonged absence of menstruation before menopause also increases your risk of osteoporosis. So if you're on the younger side, if you're in your early to mid 40s, you should already be starting to think about ways that you're going to be protecting and maintaining good bone health. In men, low testosterone levels can cause a loss of bone mass. Your doctor can test hormone levels and help to determine the best course of action if your levels are low. Some studies report that collagen supplementation is a great way to help protect bone health. Collagen is the main protein found in bones. It contains the amino acids glycine, proline, and lysine, which help build bone, muscle, ligaments, and also other tissues. The other great thing about collagen supplementation is it's also great for your hair, it's great for your skin, and it's great for your nails. And I always supplement with collagen because I have Hashimoto's disease, so I lose a lot of hair. My skin is very dry and my nails are very brittle. And collagen has made a tremendous improvement in the texture and the structure of my nails and my skin. So I highly recommend a collagen supplement. And there's a 24-week study that found given postmenopausal women with osteoporosis a combination of collagen and a hormone that's called calcitonin lead to a significant reduction in markers of collagen breakdown. And I'm going to put a link to that study so you could go read it for yourself, get some additional information on it, and you may want to speak to your doctor about it. So I did cover a lot of information in a short period of time today. So I just want to give you a quick recap on some great ways to help maintain bone health. Eat your veggies, right? Now, I talked about some of the veggies that were really good for your bones, but whatever veggies that you absolutely love, eat them and keep trying some new ones all the time so you don't get bored of eating the same veggies all the time. And you're really getting a wide array of vitamins and minerals into your diet, into your body. And there's nothing better than eating a plant-based diet. And I'm not putting down eating animal protein. I'm not. But the more fruits and vegetables that you eat, the better off you're going to be. Again, perform weight-bearing exercises. Like I said, yoga, Tai Chi, lifting weights. Whatever it is that you enjoy doing, do that. Get the right balance of protein. You don't want to be eating too little of it, and you don't want to be eating enormous amounts of it. And you can talk to your healthcare provider about that further. They will be able to test that for you, and they'll be able to guide you from there. You want to boost your calcium intake. So you want to eat foods that are rich in vitamin D and K, magnesium, potassium, and zinc. You want to avoid a low-calorie diet. You want to get rid of those tobacco products and alcohol, or at least limit the amount of alcohol that you're drinking. You want to talk to your doctor about hormones, and you want to try a collagen supplement. If you have any further questions, you could always reach out to me. Go to my website, www.susanlopresti.com. Right from my website, you could schedule a free 30-minute health assessment with me. You're not under any obligation to continue. I'm not a pushy salesperson. I'm not going to push you into anything. We'll talk for 30 minutes or so, see if I can at least offer you some additional advice or suggestions of things that you can do, and we could take it from there. But like I said, you're not under any obligation to continue. If you enjoyed this episode or any of the episodes that I've put out, and you think they could benefit someone who you know and love, please share it with them. Let them know. And be sure to follow me here as well. So when I do put out a new episode, you can go right to it and get some extra helpful tips and tools and ways that we can stay young and healthy and vibrant for many years to come. I'm a believer that we should live long, productive lives. But I know for me, if I'm going to live into my 80s and 90s, I want to feel good. I want to look good. I want to be active. I want to be enjoying my life. I don't want to be sitting in an old age home just waiting to die. And the way to do that is to start now. Regardless how old you are listening to this podcast episode today, even if you're in your 20s, if you're not currently working out, start working out. If your diet consists of a lot of processed foods, start adding more fruits, more vegetables, and crowding out the processed foods, the deep fried foods, the fast food restaurants, and just start making baby steps. Again, you could go to my website and I have my blog there, and you can also read a lot of great articles. And like I said, you could schedule that free 30-minute health assessment with me. So until the next time, be well, stay happy, and bye for now. Take good care, everyone.